Welcome back to this edition of Uplift, where our goal here in Rayze is to be able to inspire, motivate, and teach whole different generations of Filipinos, whether they are local or abroad, on how to live a much more inspired and empowered life. Today, I have with us Peach, and she is the owner of Apple Peach Hotel here in Legazpi. And what I love about Peach is that I love her name, Peach. I got a friend, her name is Apple, and sometimes people call me Banana. So we are one big happy fruit family.
Yeah.
So thank you for being on the show,
Thank you
Peach.
for inviting me.
So, Apple Peach Hotel is
Yes.
located in Legazpi and is considered
Okay.
almost like a boutique hotel. Is that right?
Yes, it's an art gallery boutique hotel.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've noticed because I've stayed here before, and not only is the rooms big and beautiful, but you have such a collection of
Yeah.
artwork.
Artworks from local artists and international artists as well.
Yeah, you should come here and take a look at it. It's very playful. It's very colorful. Even the furniture is unique.
Artistic, yeah.
Yeah,
I hope you can stay with us when you fly in Legazpi City, Albay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see. Yeah, she actually had these dining tables and chairs that's shaped in chess pieces. So it's really fun, you know. So today we're going to be talking about with Peach resiliency, how she was able to be resilient through all the challenges that she faced. Right, but before we go on, could you tell us a little bit history about how you were able to start Apple Peach Hotel, and why did you name it Apple Peach?
Okay.
I could understand peach part, but I don't know where the apple is.
It's actually the ancestral house of our family, of my father's family. And then he was fortunate enough to build a hotel out of this. And then my sister's name is Apple, and I'm Peach. That's why it's Apple Peach.
Okay.
And then we also have a brother. That's why we have the Chico's Bar and Cafe.
Okay.
But we had to close it during pandemic.
Yeah.
So now we are trying to operate again after the pandemic.
Was the pandemic really hard on you and the business?
It was at first, but then because of our willingness to help the frontliners, we were blessed. So when we opened the hotel to our frontliners, we were able to keep up with the pandemic.
Because I know that there's a lot of businesses that suffered, restaurants,
Yes.
and hotels,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And shopping, and so a lot of businesses was affected because of the COVID pandemic.
Yes. At that time, nobody wanted to accommodate all the frontliners who were handling COVID patients. But then we decided to do our part in the community by helping these frontliners. So, it's safer for the whole community.
Yeah, because not a lot of hotel companies and businesses wanted to cater to the frontliners,
Yes.
right? Because they were
Yes.
afraid of COVID.
But in the end, we were blessed. So the whole years of pandemic, we were okay. We were doing okay.
Okay,
because
so
of
you
that.
survived because
Yes,
of
we
that.
survived.
Right. You were
Yeah.
paid by the government?
Yes, partly, yeah.
Well, that's great, and so resiliency is what we wanted to talk about today,
Okay.
right? Because as we talked about earlier, resiliency is one of the keys to becoming successful in
Yeah,
business.
and
right?
surviving the business.
And surviving
Yeah.
the business. Because so many people would say, as soon as they get a challenge, oh, that's it, I throw up my hands, I quit.
Yeah, close down the business.
Right.
Right.
But you
Yeah.
actually mastered resiliency.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah.
Because we're a small business. So you have no choice but to really, learn all the trades, learn all the nitty-gritty and managing the business. We are in a hotel industry, so I should know how to clean the toilets, cook food for the guests, and all those things.
Okay.
So-
So you are a jack of all trades.
Yeah, once you have a business, you should be able to learn everything
Yeah.
as much as you can, and then so that when you hire people, they can tell you what is right and what is wrong because you know
Right.
yourself.
You've worked
So
it.
yeah.
There are stories about some of the more successful CEOs. They started in the very bottom, right? They
Yeah.
started in the mailroom, and then they worked their way up. And what made them powerful is because, like you said, they know how to operate each department.
Yes, I actually started working at Makati Shangri-La Hotel as a waitress. When I graduated in UP Diliman with an HRM course, I tried to work at the bottom. My colleagues and my classmates were asking me, why would you want to get a job which is just a waitress? But I told them I want to learn. I want to learn how to serve and what do we do in a hotel.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not going through the office work you know, and then from there I learned a lot, which I was able to apply in my own business. Yeah.
That's fantastic. When you were talking about resiliency, when I first came in here this morning, she told us about a story
Yeah.
which just occurred.
Recently,
What is
few
that?
days-
Not even 12 hours ago,
not yet. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the story was actually heartbreaking. For those who have businesses, they might be able to even relate. Could you tell us the story?
Okay. There's just this one time that I usually go to work at around in the morning and in the afternoon, but then one time I decided to stay here for overnight, to stay in the hotel overnight, and then
Last night.
I was doing my paperworks at nighttime. So I decided to stay overnight. Then at midnight, suddenly one of our employees, or two of them, came here and then was asking the staff on duty if I was here and if my car was parked outside. And then they said that they have to go through the exit area, emergency exit area, get something at the hotel, and they're asking the staff on duty to remove the CCTV of the hotel.
Wow.
Yeah. And they didn't know that I was here. So fortunately, I was able to find out what was going on within the staff. So
Right.
that's what happened. So I had no choice but, to terminate everyone involved. And unfortunately, almost all of them were involved and they
Right.
know what's happening. So
So all your staff was conspiring to steal, potentially.
yeah,
Or
although I
cause
do
some
not
kind
have,
of harm.
I don't know what they're up to, but they definitely remove the hotel CCTV camera. And for that purpose, I don't
Yeah.
know, I'm not,
Yeah.
yeah.
That must have been really heartbreaking, especially
It was.
you said earlier that a lot of people who were involved in it were staff that you've had
Trusted
since you
employees.
started.
Yes, we had them for the last 7 years. So I really trusted them, so it's quite hard because since you get to know these employees and you take care of them, you give them what they need when they have emergency. You also give them, and you're paying
Yeah.
as well. You're not doing anything wrong. And then when you point out to them what they are doing wrong or what they are lacking in, which areas to improve, and that's the time
Yeah.
they retaliate. Maybe I'm not sure.
So you're talking about staff who've not only been with you for a while, you're
For-
talking about managerial staff, you're talking about pretty much almost
Salespeople,
everybody.
housekeeping, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so they were all conspiring to steal something, of course, right? Whether that might be dishes or actually money.
Yeah. This actually happened. This is the second time it actually happened. So the first time it happened, we had to terminate everybody. It was from a manpower agency. And then we tried to hire directly. Then when we hired directly, now it happened again.
Wow.
Unfortunately. So as a business owner, you should be able to handle all this situation.
Yeah.
right away, right? So when you know all the nitty gritty and all the processes here in your business, you can handle it really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now, in reference to resiliency, you have to now make a really difficult choice of what are you going to do with the current employees, right?
Yes.
All those involved. It's not just laying them off, but potentially eliminating the whole staff and getting a whole new different
Yes.
staff, right?
Yes.
Is that what you're thinking about doing now?
Yes, actually, you have no choice. You have to always choose what is right.
Yeah.
And, nothing personal. You just have to do what is right for your business.
That's right. Nothing personal. It's just
Nothing
business.
personal. It's just business. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's just such a shame because I can't even imagine how you might be feeling about this. I mean, it's almost like breaking up with someone.
Yes.
Very heartbreaking,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
How do you
But,
feel about this?
Well, it's of course heartbreaking, and it's shocking as well when you trusted
Yeah.
people for so long, and then this is what they do to you. So you have to let it go. So it's time to move on and
Yeah.
make the changes
Yeah, it's
that
like-
is necessary. So
Breaking up with people, especially with staff who you almost consider family and
Yes.
friends, for 7 years, something like that, right?
yes,
And these are people who worked with you, they got paid, and yet it's not enough.
yeah, it's not enough. Even if you do give bonuses, a lot of incentives, I know that it's, I don't know, maybe some people are swayed by just one person who influence everyone,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
there is always a temptation. So
yeah. Well, you won't be able to find that out really because you're going to have to make the hard choice anyway.
yes,
Right.
right.
What do you think is it gave you the strength to be this resilient?
I think well, it's a training from when we were kids. We were really independent, and we've gone through a lot of hardships in life, and when no one's really helping you how to solve all those issues, but you have to do it on your own. So I think that's where it came from.
Okay.
And
So you're saying that it's how you were raised when
how
you
you
were a
raised,
child?
yes, it's like your parents will not always be there to help you solve your problem. You have to do it on your own. So that's a really good training that we had for
Yeah.
simple things like even homework. You don't have to always get a tutor for your kids and make sure that your kids will have perfect grades and all that. You're not really helping in the long run.
Yeah.
So you have to let your kids, do it on their own. Just do what is true. Be
Yeah.
true, and that's should be okay. You should accept them.
Yeah.
And then eventually, you won't realize that you're actually teaching them already something. To be responsible. To be resilient and whatever comes their way. So.
How important was it for your upbringing from your parents that led you to your level of success now?
I think, not being a spoiled brat, even if they can give me, whatever I need, you want cars, you want, anything, they never did that. They never did that. So they just gave us what we needed.
Yeah.
And then
So you
we
weren't
worked hard for
spoiled.
it. We
Just
weren't
were
spoiled.
given just enough.
Just enough, just what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of toys, not a lot of gadgets.
Yeah.
So we work our way. We wanted to get some things. As a kid or as a student, we wanted to get something more. So we have to work hard for it. So I guess that's the training that we had.
So who was the most inspiring person in your life?
Actually, all of my relatives, my uncles who, put up their own business and do something about it, and also contribute to the society, When you're successful, you do not just, keep it all to yourself. You have to share it.
Yeah.
You have to share. So That's what I learned from them. So
I
it's
really love
inspiring.
that because most of the people that I have had on my podcast who are very successful
Yeah.
always contribute to the greater good. They always
Yes.
have some kind of philanthropy or
Yes.
charity that to contribute
Yeah.
to. What's your favorite?
Mine is helping the students.
Students.
Yeah, the students, the children, those who are in need. So I actually joined the Kiwanis Club of Daragang Magayon. It's an international organization. And my project was, helping the students in grade 7, 8, and 9 learn how to read. Learn
Wow.
how to read. So we raised funds and we put up a classroom at Daraga National High School.
Right.
And so far, as of now, we have helped 1,000 students from not knowing how to read to being able to read now.
Well, I think that is so powerful.
Yeah.
Yesterday you would have been a great contribution to our seminar. We had a
Okay.
six-piece seminar in Bicol University. We had almost close to, close to about 200 students present.
Okay.
And we had various guests there. Each one had a P.
Okay.
You would have been perfect. We'll have
Next.
to have you on the next,
On the next.
Seminar that we're going to have at Bicol
Alright.
University. Okay, one of our guest speakers, right?
Why not?
Yeah. So
Let's help everyone.
absolutely.
Whatever we can,
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So, resiliency was taught to you by your family,
My family, yes.
okay? Because it's like what they say: the fruit don't fall too far from the tree,
Yeah.
right? So your family, your relatives, even your cousin Toto, who we've had on the show
Yeah.
about a month or two ago, who is a very popular fashion designer here in Legazpi,
Yes.
right? So even him have all been swayed by your family, right?
Yes, they were the first one who put up a business in the family. They were the first ones. You have a talent, so you might as well
Use it.
use it. So
Right.
they started the business.
And your talent would be,
Mine would be I'm not so sure, probably
Probably.
handling people and marketing.
yeah,
But since I graduated with a hotel restaurant background, so I was able to apply it in the business.
you applied
I
that.
applied it in the business.
Okay.
So,
What were some of your earlier challenges that you had to overcome?
in the hotel.
Yeah, in the hotel business.
Well, the people management will always be the
Biggest.
biggest. You have to take care of them, and then because if they're happy, your customers will be happy because But then again, sadly, what happened just last time? That part I'm not really sure. I mean, I think I wasn't really when you trusted them,
Yeah.
so you don't get to, check them all the time, and then
Yeah.
you don't get to reprimand them, because, I was expecting that they already know the standard operating procedures and everything, how to operate the hotel. But then, I guess you have to always have a retraining,
Yeah,
communicating one-on-one again,
yeah,
and making sure that all their needs are being met as well.
exactly.
Not just with the work-wise, also financially. Maybe
Yeah,
I don't know how to handle some attitude like such as what you mentioned a while ago, which is greed.
yeah,
So those things, maybe a little bit more strict as a leader,
Yeah.
not too kind,
Oh, touch up on something here.
Okay.
If you were to move forward in time, of course you're going to move forward in time, right? What lessons have you learned from the last two experiences that
Yes.
you've had that is going to change how you approach your business? And specifically in terms of dealing with your employees.
Okay, I think you cannot let them identify a certain pattern that you do. Like, I was identified that, okay, she always goes to this hotel at this hour and so much and so before, so they were able to study my way of thinking, my movement. So there was no surprise to that. So
Yeah.
I think that's one.
Okay.
And then
So them not knowing
not
your
knowing
schedule, when you're
your
going to be around.
pattern.
Your
of-
pattern.
You should, you should always check, and you should be hands-on. You don't entrust everything to your manager. If you're the business owner, you still need to check everything, every details.
Yeah.
You can't be like, okay, I've hired people, and then I'm good, I'm okay.
Yeah.
You do all the work.
Yeah.
So you can't do that.
Yeah.
Even if it's like, if there's 5 years, 7 years, you still can't, give them all the work. So you have to really, be hands-on and be there all the time. Like, don't be gone for a month and then come back expecting that everything is gonna be okay.
Right.
So you have to be. There should be an audit as well.
Yeah.
Audit at the end of the day, so that there's no missing funds or anything like that.
I think it's also systematizing
Yes.
your cash flow,
Yes.
right? And your whole
Yes.
system, maybe get it away from a paper-based system
Yes,
into a
to
more computerized.
computerized. And also, when it comes to CCTV,
Yeah.
it should not be accessible to all your staff. The
Yeah.
they should not be able to reach the plug.
Yeah.
That was really,
Just to
I
plug
never
it, to
thought
plug
about
it from the wall,
Yeah,
right?
it was just plugged on the wall, so
Yeah.
it should not be reachable.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got
Yeah.
those two, and what else?
I think it's best, if to have a family member, I think, to whom you can trust.
Yeah.
To, because not all the time you're in the business 24/7. So you at least need someone,
Yeah.
who will look after the business, and
Yeah.
not just you. Probably your family member who can do the audit when you're gone.
Yeah.
Like that.
Or you could get like a third-party auditor,
A third-party auditor,
Yeah.
yeah.
right, who
Yeah.
comes in and just checks all the books.
Yes.
But on a personal level, where do you see yourself growing from this? Where do you see yourself growing personally, and where do you see yourself growing your business?
We are actually planning to expand the business.
Wow.
And then, because if you do not expand, then you're dying, right?
Yeah, yeah.
In the business. So, with this, we have to keep everything in writing as well. The standard operating procedures should always be in writing, not just verbal. And then you have to, refresh your employees every year. That this is the company policy, this is the standard operating procedure, so that they are aware and they can implement it properly. And also the sanctions, like these are the rules and regulations of the company, and if you do not follow this will be the sanction. So it should be clearly laid out,
Yeah.
not just verbal, it should be written. And so
And
I
then
think
you-
that will help.
And you
as well.
said you were going to expand the business. How
Yes.
are you going to expand it?
It's-
Add more rooms going up, or?
Not here, to a different place
Okay.
in Taisan. So it will be an event place, function area.
Oh,
For weddings,
function.
function area. Because here we don't really have a function area, just
Yeah.
a small
Yeah.
boardroom and the lobby.
Yeah.
And we always have events at the lobby, and it's quite crowded.
Yeah.
So we had to expand somewhere else, and then.
So is it just going to be a pure function hall with, or is it going to be a larger hotel with a function hall?
As of now, it's just gonna be. It's actually a farm. Agriculture
love
tourism.
that.
So it's a event place in a farm. Yeah.
Did you have the farm already?
We have the place as of now.
Because that is really popular here. I've been to some farms in
Yeah.
which they converted a spot in the farm with a
Yeah.
large function hall. It's
Yeah.
beautiful,
Yeah.
actually, right?
Yeah,
And then-
farm to table concept as well.
Yeah, like a farm to table,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then are you gonna put like bungalows or small rooms?
We actually have a house already there
Mm-hmm.
built with 4 rooms. Eventually, that will be open to public as well.
Okay. All right, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Um, if you were to give one advice,
One advice.
right? One large piece of advice to the listeners, to people who are maybe interested in starting their own business, or people who are interested in starting a hotel,
Okay.
or restaurant, or function area, what would that be?
Know your business really well. Know your people as well, and as much as you can, manage your business on your own. I mean, you can hire people, but at the end of the day, you should know everything what's going on in your business, because if you do not know, then any problems that you will encounter, you will have a hard time,
Yeah.
dealing with it.
Yeah.
So you know everything.
And what would be, you said one of your
Yeah.
inspirations with your family, right?
Yeah.
How important was faith to you?
It's everything for me. The faith is everything. It keeps you strong.
Yeah.
And it gives you a positive outlook in life. That someone will always be there for you. So that's really really important.
You know, everyone I have spoken to all believed in the power of faith and belief,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Right.
It's just truly remarkable. That's why when I did the 6 P's, I actually added a 6P, which is the power of prayer,
Power of prayer. Yes.
right? It's all about faith and belief.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter who they are, right? They always had a belief in God, right? So, which strengthens my belief, because it's just remarkable, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have to go to church all the time, but the internal belief structure
Yeah.
that you have inside drives
Yes.
you, right?
Yes. It keeps you whole, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then your contribution to the children.
Yeah.
Powerful, powerful words.
Yeah.
I want to thank you, Peach.
Thank you.
For really, shedding some light on the power of resiliency,
All right.
right? That no matter what life will throw at you, you'll always bounce back,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Do you have any closing words you like to talk about that?
Yeah. Just believe in yourself, and trust that everything will work out fine. Yeah.
One of my favorite sayings that I've been telling people lately is let go, let God.
Let go, let
Right?
God. Yeah.
Let go of your worries,
Yeah.
and you just let it all to God.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
thank you, Peach,
Thank
for being
you.
on the show. I really
you.
enjoy it. I hope
Thank
you
you.
enjoyed this podcast.
I hope you learned something.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
if you're ever in Legazpi and you want some real personal, beautiful accommodations, Apple Peach Hotel is the place to go. It's one of my
Yes.
favorite places where I love to get to.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
so
you.
thank you very much again. Okay. Thank you all, and stay tuned.